What's good, everybody? Today I got Hot Takes 2.0. I did one of these about 3 months ago. Now I'm here with some new ones. I could do these all day. I have a ton of them, but these are the best ones that I've had recently. I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's get right into the first one. Lightweight is falling off a cliff. Look, when you previously looked at the lightweight division, it was a shark pool, right? It was known as one of the best and most competitive divisions. Now it's just trash. I mean, previously you had the top five, which was crazy. You had McGregor, you had Poirier, you had Ferguson, you had Dos Anjos, you had Eddie Alvarez, you had Oliveira, and then Habib as a champ. Now it's fallen off. You have a great champion, Islam Makhachev, who I believe is fantastic and, a top 10 fighter of all time, in my opinion. You have a great number one contender who will give Makhachev a tough fight. But then you look past that and you got a bunch of fucking old heads, a bunch of them. Charles Oliveira, he's old. Poirier's old. Gaethje's old. And then you go down and you have Dan Hooker, who's coming off two split decision wins. um, Dan Hooker is a fucking zombie, bro. He's not like his skill set isn't good. He's just gonna walk forward. His technique is not great. I think he's a fun fighter, but if we're talking about a skill set, bro, he's not good. Honestly. Then you look past that, Chandler, old. Dariush, old as shit. It sucks. You have Fiziev, who, to me, is great. I still think Fiziev's a good fighter and a fun fighter to watch. I think Fiziev's a bright spot here. Then you have Max Holloway. I don't really consider him a lightweight. Moicano, brother. Moicano, like, if he wins again, man, I'm probably going to stop watching the lightweight division, bro, because this guy is not great. If he beats Benoit Saint Denis, I'm going to be pissed because he's fluked his way up here, not going to lie. Drew Dober, he should have lost that fight. Should have lost to Jalen Turner. And then you go down, you have Rafael Dos Anjos still in this division, in the top 15. I mean, fuck, bro. Like, come on, man. And you have some bright spots. I think Benoit Saint Denis is a guy who could be, a top five fighter in lightweight for sure. Obviously he lost to Poirier, but that was staff. It was a fluke. He was whooping Poirier's ass, and he would have finished him by the third, in my opinion. But it was a fluke. He had staff. Doesn't really count. Jalen Turner, that's my boy. I fuck with Jalen Turner heavy, man. I really like him. I like his game a lot. I still think there's potential in Jalen Turner. I believe he's only 29 years old. He's a great striker. I don't know. I love watching the guy fight, but do I think he's a top 10 material fighter? Not at this point. Then you got Paddy Pimblett, who is okay. I mean, he's pretty good. He's a fun fighter, I guess. And then you look outside the rankings, and it's, once again, it's not like there's a bunch of great lightweights that are very good skill set. There's a couple, right? I think there's like 4 or 5 that are pretty good. You got Joel Alvarez, good fighter. You got, Mitspek Olarai, good fighter as well. Ludovic Klein, great fighter. But it's really not that great anymore, man. And I just don't see this division being as deep as it used to be. And it's kind of fallen off a lot, actually. It's gonna fall off in the next 2 years, bro. We're gonna be talking about the lightweight division like, man, it's not great, because at one point, people still think this, that the lightweight division is a top two, and myself including. I did think that, but when I really took a look at the rankings and the contenders outside the rankings, it's not as good as everyone says, man. I think we're seeing, the evolution in better divisions. Featherweight, like I talked about in one of my other videos, it's becoming crazy. Bantamweight is great. Welterweight is looking great as well. Lightweight to me is falling off, man. We need some great contenders that are coming up. Obviously, there's guys that are entering the UFC that I think are great lightweights. But right now, and for the following 2 years, I think we're going to see a decline, man. There's not great contenders anymore, man. And they're all old. Like I said, bro, all these guys, they're just a bunch of old heads, man. It's not the same as it used to be. And I think, personally, it will fall off in the next 2 years, and we're not going to see the same shark pool anymore. We're already seeing it right now, right? So yeah, Dricus du Plessis rolls Alex Pereira at 85, and he rolls him at 205. Not even a debate for me personally. You give Dricus du Plessis a little bit of time to bulk up to 205. This guy was already at 205. He fought in 205 and won a belt in the regional scene. He can make it. He can be big at 205. He's big as fuck at 85. Look, at 85, I'm not even going to lie to you. I think the odds for that fight would be like minus 300 DDP. First of all, Alex Pereira at 85, especially now since he's 37 or 38, he's going to be drained immediately, bro. He's going to, Dricus is going to get in his face and take him down easily and beat his ass. Now, look, at 85, I think it'll be easy, not even a competition. But at 205, I think it's still, in my eyes, I think DDP absolutely rolls him. We saw DDP last fight against Adesanya take him down a lot. And Adesanya is a guy who has 10 times the takedown defense of Alex Pereira, as well as, wrap up a submission on a guy like Adesanya. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Alex Pereira is the better striker. He will hold the power advantage. He will hold the technical advantage. But, Jan Blachowicz was able to take Alex down a lot. And that just shows because Magomed Ankalaev took Jan Blachowicz down with easily, pretty much. DDP would kill Alex on the ground, bro. Jan Blachowicz has absolutely no finishing ability on the ground. He has no submissions. He doesn't have good ground and pound. I mean, to me, he doesn't even have great control. Alex was held down like crazy in that fight, man. DDP has finishing ability on the ground. I mean, he got Robert Whittaker to the ground, who we know is some of the best takedown defense ever, right? And he landed shots on the ground against Robert Whittaker, cut him, split him open, then comes out and finishes Rob. But that's not my point. DDP has finishing ability on the ground. I know he wasn't able to, finish a guy like Strickland, but Strickland to me has great ground defense, and it's hard to get Strickland to the ground in the first place. DDP was able to do it multiple times. DDP would fucking destroy Alex on the ground, bro, and he's not giving him room to land anything. He's not going to sit at range and try to strike with Alex. He won't do that. He's going to walk forward with that high guard. And he, as we saw in the Adesanya fight, Alex goes to the body. DDP will welcome those body shots. He didn't fucking care about Adesanya's body shots. He even talked about in the press conference after, they didn't affect him at all. Look, first of all, this guy is durable as fuck. He's been knocked out one time. I believe it was on the regional scene versus a great fighter who I think would be a ranked fighter in the UFC, without a doubt. I can't remember his name. I know his name's RoboCop. I can't remember his name. But my point is here. First of all, DDP holds the advantage on the ground like crazy. At 85, Alex is drained. He won't have a gas tank. DDP will finish him in the third, in my opinion, via KO or, submission. Now at 205, yes, I think it's going to be a lot harder. Not a lot harder, though. I don't think Alex could deal with that kind of pressure, man. He hasn't fought anybody that's going to, pressure forward and eat those shots. Obviously, if Alex lands, hard on your chin, I think anybody can go out. We saw it with Jamal Hill, a guy who's never been rocked before and fought, power punchers like Thiago Santos and, Walker. He's never been hurt. Alex Pereira put him out with one shot. Now, do I think Alex could land not a lucky shot, but a shot on DDP and put him out? Of course I do. But if you're giving me a guy like Dricus who has a very high guard, who is defensively sound, sometimes he overextends, but that funky style, to me, gives him an advantage. I mean, obviously, look, Alex is way more technical. I'm not going to lie. But the Yuri fight gave him problems in the first, man. He had a tough time picking up on Yuri. And I don't know if he could survive with DDP long enough to figure him out because DDP is going to be taking him down like crazy. I mean, like I said, Jan Blachowicz was destroying Alex on the ground and holding him down. To me, DDP clears him and wipes him, finishes him at 85 and finishes him at 205. Belal Muhammad beats the fuck out of Islam Makhachev at 170. Now, I know this fight is never, going to happen because these guys, I've already said they're not going to fight. But if it did, I would be leaning Belal Muhammad to win. Now, look, I think, Makhachev is a more technical striker, I guess, if you want to say that. But he really relies on those takedowns because on the feet, he's not looking to hurt you on the feet, unless obviously the head kick with Volk, great. But honestly, man, this guy, he's kind of pitter-patting at range, and waiting for a takedown because all of his opponents are worried about the takedowns. In my eyes, Muhammad doesn't have to worry about that. Belal has, some of the best takedown defense ever. He's not going to get taken down by Makhachev, and if he does, he'll get back up. Do I think Makhachev's ability to finish on the ground is better than Muhammad? Of course I do. But I don't think he'll get him down, and that's a problem because Belal, to me, is crafty on the feet. When we saw him fight, Sean Brady and Gilbert Burns, he fought them all on the feet. He boxed them, he, outpointed them and outvolumed them. Do I think he can break Makhachev with the cardio and with the volume? I do. I think he can win a decision, obviously, but that's my dog Belal, man. Y'all know that's my boy. I think he can beat Islam by a decision easily, man. I think we haven't seen Makhachev box in the pocket. He's always boxing at range because all of his opponents are worried about the takedown. And like I said, Belal doesn't have to worry about that. Belal, to me, has better boxing. He's got better cardio. He's got better pressure. And, I think he's got a great kicking game as well. People don't really talk about his kicking game, but I think it's good. He kicked a lot versus Gilbert Burns, and his kicks are a little bit, rangy, crafty a little bit. And I think he'd destroy Makhachev, honestly, outvolume him on every level. I think early Makhachev would, hold the advantage. But to me, I don't think I can see Makhachev putting anyone out with the hands. Personally, that's not how he fights. That's like all the Dagestans. They just, sit at range and pitter pat and outvolume you until they can take you down. And that's not going to be available for Makhachev. So what is he going to do? I don't know. Because I think, like I said, Belal outvolumes him everywhere with the kicking, with the boxing. To me, it's not even that close. I think, Belal beats Makhachev at 170 with ease.